Thank you. Thanks everybody for joining in today's Healing Circle Talks. And today we have a very special guest with us, Anamika. Great. So before we begin the circle, please allow me to read the guidelines. Healing circles are safe havens. They are built on the foundation of kindness and respect. We all participants agree to listen to each other with compassion and curiosity. We honor each other's unique ways of healing and don't presume to advise or fix or try to save each other. We hold all the stories shared in the circle confidential. We trust each one of us has guidance we need within us, and we rely on the power of silence to access it. Thank you once again, and we'll begin with today's speaker's introduction. So Anamika, she is a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer warrior, survivor, and she says that hope is the thing that feathers, that perches in the soul, sings the tune without the words and never stops. Anamika recovered from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in 2016. She adopted a very holistic approach to healing after she had finished her medical treatment. She also says to accept life and enjoy its ups and downs. Enjoy the roller coaster ride and don't give up, never ever give up. And we would love to hear from her when she was diagnosed in 2016. How did she first take the news of the diagnosis? How her and her family reacted to this initial diagnosis, because it mostly come as a shock to all of us, and going forward, how you decided on the treatment plan and the journey thereafter. So over to you, Anamika. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so the journey started in 2015 December. Okay, there was this fever that would refuse to go, and I had done my full body checkup sometime in October. Okay, so when the doctor kept on saying go for a blood checkup, I said, what the heck, 2 months ago I did everything, so this is the report. And that fever just wouldn't go. And then he said, just for my sake, do it, because none of his medicines were working. Also, to tell you that when I first walked into his chamber, our family physician, he said, you've lost a lot of weight, what are you doing? So I said nothing, and immediately his face clouded. I was thinking I'm very nice, I'm losing weight, such a nice thing to happen. I'm not even making any effort, and not realizing that was my body shouting and telling me I'm not fine. Anyway, so to cut a long story short, I did my blood test. My ESR was 99. Doctor said, obviously your body is battling something very big. We did the sonography. The lady who did the sonography said, don't need to wait for the test results, the report. Just go back to Dr. Desai. He was our family physician. She had spoken to him to say, obviously, that my spleen was 3 times its size, and so the spleen has blood function. So they were actually, I think, expecting it to be blood cancer, but it finally landed, turned out to be non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So yeah, before I go to the treatment reactions, I was very ill. Okay, I was very ill, very weak, very subdued person. That's not me at all. That's not my personality at all. So I was just very ill and very this, and I don't think I reacted in any different way. Though when they did the the surgery to take out the lymph nodes for the autopsy, the doctor did say that they found cells of abnormal activity, and my antenna immediately went up, and I told my husband, I think we are in this for a long run. So when the diagnosis actually happened after 2 weeks of the biopsy, I didn't I was just like, something is going on, I have to go now to the doctor, get a treatment. I don't remember what my husband went through. I don't think I ever asked him, but my dad was there with me, and the only question he had is, doctor, what did she do wrong? And the doctor told him, Mr. Chakravarti, don't even ask this question at all, because no doctor can give you this answer. Fortunately, we know what to do once it happens. So this is what she has got, is a 100% curable cancer. And I'm sending you to, he sent me, so I got my diagnosis done at Hinduja in Mumbai. and he sent me to another hospital. And I was wondering, like, you also have oncologists at Hinduja. He said, no, but the doctor at the other hospital is a better doctor with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. That was Dr. Advani. I think most of you would know him. So I went. So it was from here. Dr. Padte was my hematologist at Hinduja, and he sent me. I went directly from the diagnosis to what is the other hospital, Raheja in Mahim, and my treatment immediately started actually on 3rd of January 2016, which was my birthday actually. I started my chemotherapy, and sometimes I look back and say, at that time I thought it was very, very sad thing. Today I think it was a rebirth for me at that time, going through that journey. So yeah, I went through 6 cycles of chemotherapy, and first cycle was difficult because one didn't know what was happening, and the doctors don't say anything. So food tasted like sawdust. I didn't feel like eating. I had a bad case of constipation, and my mom said, obviously you're not eating anything, what will happen? So I'm one of the people who never moved out of the house. Even after I got married, I got to stay with my parents. So I had that love it also with me. So I kept on asking my husband, call the doctor, call the oncologist, ask him what's happening. And, like true men, they don't want to ask any questions. He said, no, just go to, everything will be fine. I said, nothing doing. I called the oncologist. So Dr. Advani's assistant, Dr. Shah, I think he was, yeah. And I said, doctor, this is what has happened, and is it because I've not eaten? He said, no, nothing to do with eating. It is a byproduct or a side effect of the chemotherapy. I said, well, you could have told this to me 4 days back, no, and I wouldn't have gone through this immense discomfort which had to be dispensed of with an enema actually. And sometimes I feel constipation is a worse condition than cancer. Sometimes I feel, right, because it came back again to haunt me in some other cycles. But I guess here most of you are people who've gone through cancer, and I don't have to repeat it to say that chemotherapy has different side effects in different people and different side effects in the same person in different cycles, right? So the next cycle I did have a bit of diarrhea as well. Anyway, so went through the entire 6 cycles of chemotherapy. Went then with my PET scan and was told that I'm fine. Actually, even after the first cycle itself, the doctor had said that my spleen was palpable. Means it was not palpable. That means he couldn't really feel it from my abdomen, from the external abdomen. So yeah, that's how it went. Some very interesting things happened during that period, right? That a lot of my friends, who were my friends even before, but who never told me, they brought to me this whole philosophy of the mind and body connect. They gave me books. They talked to me about different thoughts and feelings that might have caused this illness. And for somebody who's a postgraduate, who's an MBA, who reads extensively, this was a new body of knowledge for me. Really new body. I had absolutely no idea that when I get angry, I'm harming my body more than affecting the person with whom I'm getting angry with. And so started this whole journey of understanding the mind-body connect. I studied a lot, different authors, different researchers, psychologists. There's a whole body of knowledge by people like Louise Hay and her tribe. And I studied that philosophy. I got trained as a coach, and today I help cancer patients to identify what in their mind space or in their heart space might be causing that illness, might have caused the illness, and how to live a much more joyful and fulfilling life.
And when you were diagnosed, and as a family, I understand you have a daughter as well. So
yes.
So because I'm sure that you at that time you were more maybe worried about that how she will react to this or what she will go through when you are going to the treatment. So how did you take care of both things together?
Yeah, so my husband did initially say that we should not be telling her that it's cancer. But I have a daughter who reads a lot, and I think she was 12 years old at that time. Yeah, and she's watching me talk, so she's waving out to me. And she heard the word chemotherapy, so she knows. She says, "You mean you're going to chemotherapy? That means you've got cancer." And then I have to say that yes, let's tell her. She took it very bravely, very very bravely. A tremendous. Everybody was a tremendous support to me. Uh, for me, like dear Viktor Frankl says that when you know the what, the how automatically comes through, right? So if not for anybody, I knew I had to live for her. There was no question. The doctor did say it was 100% curable, but at no point did I think, oh, why me? What the heck? And let me just be a victim or let me not do anything. I was always, so as I said, the first cycle was a difficult cycle. I talked about it. When I went to my second chemo, I told that assistant doctor, you will sit with me, go through all the side effects that I can go through and tell me what I will do if it happens to me. Some of them, they take care of it, not all of them. I took the onco nurse's number that in case anything happens, they are the ones who are seeing it day in and day out. They know what is happening to which patient, and they are the ones, I realized that they are the ones with the body of knowledge which would help me at my times of crisis. So from the second cycle now, I was very much in charge of myself. I knew what was happening with my body. I knew what to do. I didn't have to call any of them, but I knew. So at the onset of any constipation, I knew I had to take one medicine which the doctor had given me, and that I should not be, neglecting it. That 1 week I will feel that the food will taste like sawdust, but after that everything will be fine. And very coincidentally, how they say now that you are given things which you can take it, right? You're never given things which you can't take. So I could take it, and my husband was very strangely during at that time he was on a sabbatical. Okay, he was pursuing his PhD, so he was at home. He was there all the time to take care of me, to look at the expiry date of all the drugs that were being given to me, and he could even tell, Dimple, very strange that he could see the drip and tell me, today you're not going home before 8 o'clock. Or today it's okay, for 4 o'clock we will be able to go home. He could make out by the drip that, it's going to take that long. So, yeah, so I think the daughter played that part, for me it was the what. And therefore I said, however it is possible, I will do that. So we used to measure those 2 liters or 3 liters, I don't remember, of liquids that I had to have, the tak and the juice and everything. The whole thing then fell in place, because I knew this was what I was living for, actually. Yeah, thank you for reminding that.
It's very true. Yeah. So, Anamika, during the treatment, when you were going through the medical treatment, and how much time it took you to understand about holistic care?
Yeah, how much time? So obviously, when that information came through to me, uh, okay. So let me just backtrack a little bit. Okay, more than holistic, the whole concept of healing as a concept. So even today, right, I get myself healed every week by a healer. No, nothing ailing me, but me and my family, I get healed every day, every week. So, so the spleen is an organ. Even I had to Google when I found out that was the organ that was affected. Is an organ next to the stomach. So when it gets enlarged, it's obviously impinging on the stomach and causes a lot of physical discomfort. So I had a lot of back pain as well. I think because it was all pushing different organs. And so the period between the surgery and telling about the biopsy results is a period that you don't have anything to do. You have to just wait. They will not give you any medicine because they will not, even if they know, they will not tell you anything because they will wait for the biopsy result. So back was paining very badly, and I used to always lie down, okay? And I knew one of my husband's friend's wife, she did this healing whole process, right? So I told my husband, say, obviously husband doesn't believe in all this. So I still told him, I said, look, kya farak padta hai? I'm not taking any medicine, nothing. Can I tell her? So he said, yeah, why not? And so I called her. I said, this is what it is. Will you heal me? So she said, yeah, I'll do it. I said, what time will you come? She said, no, I'm not going to come. I'll do it at 3 o'clock. You just lie down. So she, 3 o'clock came, I lay down. And at 3:20, she called my husband to say that tell her it's all over. So I got up, I called her. I said, kuch to hua nahi, you told me. She said, doesn't matter. What I have to do, I had done. And Dimple, I was suffering from that pain for more than a week, okay? And I said, oh God, even this did not work. Anyway, I went to sleep. It was 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I went to sleep. The next day, I got up with the pain 80% less. Okay, I don't know what happened. I don't know whether it was the healing or it was something else. But this is what happened to me. And that started that a little bit of, that connect with healing started, okay? And this person also, when she called, she said, I have a message for you. They have these Akashic records they get and all that. I don't know how it works, but she said, I have a message for you. Let go. I said, let go of what? And she said, I don't know about that. But when I then thought about it, Dimple, and even Louise Hay says, that people with spleen problems are those who kuch akkad ke rakha hai unhone, because it's a blood function, no? The blood is not flowing for some reason. And slowly, it's strange. I found out exactly what I was not letting go, right? I was controlling everything in my life. And it's a long journey. It's a very strenuous journey. A lot of effort, time is required, because I've spent 45 years building that life. And now you are telling me that that life was not the right life I was leading. So obviously it's going to take time for me to let go of all that. But that journey continues, okay? I systematically I do my introspection to see what is triggering me and what is it that I need to let go for me to have a much more joyful and fulfilling life. That's an ongoing journey, and I think that will happen till I drop this body.
That's really thrilling to know about your healing experience, and it's true. I mean, the way it works, it feels like a miracle, or the way mind-body connection, the way Reiki or this
Yes.
pranic healing,
Yes.
it works. It's just amazing. There is science behind energy therapies, energy exercise, and movement therapies, and it's just,
Correct.
I mean, as long as you see benefits and it's working, it's all good.
Yes.
So great. And good.
And subsequent to that, by the way, I have also now become a Reiki healer. So I've done my Reiki healing course as well. Yes.
That's great.
And I'm also I don't know whether I've shared this with you, but I'm also now an internationally trained or certified Heal Your Life teacher.
That's great. Yeah, wonderful. So you are and you are working with patients, helping them with the same techniques, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because as she says, it's all a thought, right? And thoughts can be changed. So we have to only work on that. And once we do that, we have a much more smoother life, right? Much more smoother life. Yeah.
Anamika, would you also please talk about what medical treatment you had undergone and for how long it happened?
So it was chemotherapy, something called R-CHOP. The protocol is called R-CHOP. And it was for 6 cycles every 3 weeks, which is what most chemotherapies are there, right? First week is a bad week, second week you're recovering, third week you're great, so you're fine to take the next shot, right? Yeah, so that's what I underwent.
Got it. Okay. And it's been now 5 years, 6 years you are in remission?
6 years, yes.
Yes, so 5 years over. Great.
Yes.
Nice. Wonderful. Yeah. And
but
you didn't have,
no, the journey continues. Yeah, you didn't have what?
You didn't have any family history of cancer or anything like that?
No.
Right. No. And for your family now, for your daughter, are you taking any precaution or any screening techniques, anything like that?
No, Dimple, I am not really doing that. But I'm definitely helping her realize that she needs to spend that time for herself in terms of the quietude, in terms of not taking stress too much, in terms of leading a moderate life, right? I think that is one thing we all can do, not go to any extremes. I think that is what I'm doing at the moment, Dimple. And yeah, at the moment, that's what I'm doing.
Right, and you made many lifestyle changes during, no, nothing.
Lots, lots. My God, it's like everybody is. So everybody wonders, So for example, I don't have alcohol anymore, and everybody says, "Oh, but is that the reason for you having cancer?" I said, "I don't know. I don't know why it happened, but I will not now poison my body in any way. So I eat my meals at the right time. I'm asleep by 9 o'clock. I get up by 5 o'clock, and so my friends don't even call me for night parties. If they have birthday parties, they'll have a separate lunch just for Anamika types, because I don't do late night at all. And so all these, my God, there are so many. Keeping a journal to find out what triggers me, what I should work on next, what I should do next. Spending 2 hours every day on myself, writing, doodling, coloring, whatever it is, walking, um, exercising, and ensuring rest, having infused water, whatnot. I mean, whatever I can. It's all there in my schedule, Dimple, all there in my schedule now.
Until date, you're following it?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I'm doing everything which I will take to my grave. So I'm not doing any drastic changes, stop eating certain foods or something like that. But slowly doing things that I will continue till I die. Yeah.
Okay, that's really good to know that you not just you made the changes, you're also following it very religiously, because that's very very important. And after a few years, people stop that, but and after NED, definitely they stop it. So
Yes.
yeah, that's really good to know that. Great.
Yeah.
And with you, I'm sure your family is also doing has made these changes, or uh, not sure. Yeah,
Not really, not
not
really,
really.
not really. But I'm confident, Dimple, that at least my daughter, she's watching me. She's a teenager now, right? So you can't tell them much. But I know she's watching me, and she will make the changes that resonate with her going forward. Yeah. The husband and mother, I'm not taking any guarantee of. They are free to live their life. See, that is the other thing, right, Dimple? When we go through a certain journey now, and we even find the benefit of it, we feel that the entire family should go through it. But they are on their own journey. You cannot make them do something. They are seeing you do what you are doing, and if they wish to imbibe that, they are free to imbibe that. If it doesn't resonate with them, just let go, because their journey is different from my journey.
Yeah, very true, very true. Yeah, so Anamika, also, did you take any kind of nutraceutical supplements that helped you in your recovery?
No, I didn't take any supplements, but a friend of mine, his wife had gone through cancer, and at that time they had taken homeopathy as a sort of help. So he just sent me that medicine. Okay, he didn't ask me anything. He arranged for the vials of those pills to be sent to me, and with all the instructions that the doctor had given, that if it is like this, do this, if that, whatever. So I just took it. Okay, I don't know whether how much it helped or anything, but I just took it because that doctor very clearly said, I never spoke to that doctor, by the way, but he had very clearly said that it has nothing, it will not in any way interfere with your chemotherapy. So I just did that. And somebody had told me, I don't know whether you've heard this or anybody in the group has heard this. They had told me to have 2 rasgullas before my chemotherapy. Okay, apparently that rasgulla, because it's chana, no paneer, it forms a little lining on the stomach which protects it. Again, didn't make any difference to me. So, and very very coincidentally, to go to the hospital for my chemotherapy, I had to pass a Tiwari ka mithai ka dukkan. So it was just picking up those two rasgullas, squeezing them, eating them. That's it. So these are the two things I think I did at that point in time that I remember.
Okay, okay, that's I'm listening it first time having this glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you face any side effects of the treatment?
Yeah. Side effects. But again, Dimple, I want to tell this group here that every medicine, every allopathic medicine has its side effects. It has nothing to do with cancer at all, right? All antibiotics make you feel weak, will make you feel this, will give you, whatever, some side effects or the other. So it is something to do with allopathy. I don't think it has anything to do with cancer. Cancer is an illness like any other illness. We feel it is a monster because we don't understand it, and there's still a lot of research going on. The doctors are all struggling to find out what could be. But the fact is that this illness is multifactorial. It is caused by probably many factors. So I think those who have the propensity should just take care of everything, as I was sharing, right? We don't know whether it is alcohol creates or if it's smoking that creates. But if it's something that is harmful to the body, why take it at all?
Very true. And according to you, what are the challenges and obstacles that you faced during your treatment journey?
The obstacle was that the doctors don't tell you much, so you don't understand what it is that's happening with your body. And I later also understood why they don't, because they themselves don't know, right, which side effect is going to manifest, and they don't want to scare you, right? So it's I think the duty of us as patients to ask what is happening to us, what is not happening. And I understand that most of the doctors, most of the oncologists are very busy people. So the people to talk to are their assistants, right? All the they are the doctors who work under them. They are the ones who have the time, if you ask for the time, and just ask every question of yours. As I said, during my second chemo, I made him sit and went through all my questions with him so that I know what is it that I'm dealing with. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And was there any time when you felt that I wish I knew these things before?
Yeah, as I told you, no, for that constipation thing, 4 दिन पहले अगर वो मुझे बोलता, then I would have not suffered, because as everybody who has gone through constipation knows, it's the most uncomfortable feeling in the world, and it was my fourth or fifth day of not having an emotion, so it was very very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Right. And how did you finally manage this side effect, or yeah, what all things you did for this?
So I'm sure family. I think today, Dimple, that caregivers go through a much more difficult journey than the patients do, right? They are struggling to find out, are we doing the right things? Are we doing enough? Could we have done more? There's all sorts of, doubts and things that plague caregivers, right? Patients, we are there, we are taking the medicine and just, lying on the bed. That's it. Mentally, also we might feel why me and all that, but that's all. But the gamut of emotions and thoughts that caregivers go through is quite a bit. And as I told you, I live with my parents. Of course, today my dad is no longer alive, but at that time he was. And I'm the firstborn, okay? So there's always this, the connection is always there, right, with the firstborn. So mom was there always, I can call. Whatever my husband said, she made, soup banao, so she would make soup, whatever. Dad would come and hold my hand. And, I would just, very strangely, it's not me, but I would put my head on his shoulder. And I think I took a lot from my family during those times without much thinking what they were going through. But I'm sure it would have been a very difficult time for them. The third chemo, right, when the hair starts falling and the doctor says, just shave off your head, because otherwise the hair will fall anywhere and everywhere, right? So we did that. And when I came home, my mother just broke down, right? She said you had more hair when you were born, and all sorts of things, all sorts of memories came to her head. And I had to just hold her and say that don't worry, this hair will come back. It's just a temporary thing. But yeah, I'm sure that would have been quite a sight for everybody, for the daughter, for the husband, for the father, who none of them who talked about it openly. The mother only did it. But I'm sure they would have gone through something. But that's the most visible part of cancer, right? The hair falling off is the most visible part of cancer. So I'm sure they went through their own journey. But I think today they're all in a good space. And my daughter, I think, wrote one essay, if I'm not mistaken, of how she learned about some strength from me or something while I went through cancer. Because I never really ever thought, why me? In fact, I thought of myself as the chosen one, that there is toxicity in my system and this is an opportunity to get rid of it. Okay? And all the subsequent actions were not to get the toxicity back, right? That is what the whole journey is all about. Yes. And I today don't like cancer. I think I've already shared this with you in some other forum. Because whom are we fighting with after all? We're fighting with our own bodies, no? So I think it's a good thing to accept it. Okay, you found my body to live in, but now just go. Very firmly and lovingly tell it to go. That's what I would suggest
Very
that people do.
yeah, very true.
No, just one small thing I wanted to say, that everybody has to remember that we can do all what we want. Yeah, but then sometimes we say, nah, we did this, we did that, we did that. Still metastasis ho gaya, फिर से कुछ हो गया. Because there is a bigger power which we will never understand, which we should not even try to understand. If it happens, you have to just accept it and again go through it. Okay, so I don't know whether you know Dimple, but I had a second episode as well in 2000. In the next year, as I had a episode in my what is it? Ovarian, and what is the other associated cancer in the same area?
Ovarian, cervical, uterine.
Uterine. So for that, it was a radical surgery that I had to do, and I'm still amazed by medical science. It was an 8-hour surgery, right? They kept me open, sent my lymph nodes for testing whether it had, then stitched me back again, and I was fine. Sometimes I just marvel at medical history, medical science, how they managed to do this thing. So yeah, I just wanted to share that.
I mean, yeah, even Nitesh's surgery was for I think 10 or 12 hours, and it was a big deal for us, for sure. For the time being, he was in the operating theater, and we were like really counting every single minute. And but when he came out, and when we saw, I mean, we thought that it will be worse than what we saw, but it was okay, I'd say. He had 42 stitches and colostomy bag and everything. But yeah, it was fine. Yeah, so good. I didn't know about the second episode.
Yeah.
So, thank you for sharing.
Actually, it was the second episode which I shared with more people, because by that time I said the more prayers I get and the more good wishes I get, the better it is. Mm-hmm. So it was like, I'm the chosen one, as I said, second time, and it was a totally different system also, right? Mm-hmm. So even Dr. Advani looks at me and says, how did you do this? But again, you've got something that's 100% curable. I said, that's all we need to know.
Yeah, that's
and that's why it's a blessing. Absolutely, you said it. It's a blessing, absolutely blessing. And blessing because Dimple, I wouldn't have made those lifestyle changes if it was not for cancer, right? I would have continued, and maybe some other illness would have, affected me later in life. But because that happened, it was like a springboard for me for personal development. I used it as that. I said, no, these are certain things that I'm not doing right in my life, and this is the wake-up call that I have been given.
Yeah, right. And finally, how did you feel when doctors told you that your treatment is over and you are in remission?
Yeah. So obviously a relief and and I think also the two things. One is that I took the oath. I sort of took an oath that I don't want to go to a hospital ever again. Okay, because that again, that's the what, and that tells me all the hows that I have to do, right? Food, rest, exercise, mental, emotional well-being, even spiritual well-being, right? Many of us don't give much attention to spiritual well-being, but that is also required. So so I think it was a relief. It definitely is a relief, but it's a relief that would happen with any illness, right? Where you are said that now that illness is no longer, your body is fine, because so long as your body is not fine, uh, life is a difficult life, right? I mean, even when you get a common cold and cough, you are lying on the bed and you can't do anything. You don't feel like watching TV. You don't feel like reading. You don't feel like nice at all. So yeah, so it's. I think it's a journey that has helped me value my body more. Uh, it's like we say, na, body as a temple. It truly is a temple, because unless it is in the right form and condition, it will not give you uh, the desired results. That's it. And without the body, you can't do a thing.
Yeah, true, very true. Yeah, and any test that you are doing since then to ensure that everything is on track?
No, no. After the 5-year period, I am not doing any regular tests. The general yearly health checkup is happening. That is happening. Yes, that also will continue till I go. So that thing is happening, but no specific cancer-related tests. No, I'm quite confident, Dimple, it's not going to come again.
Okay. Yeah, but for 5 years, what all tests did you do?
That now every 6 months, I think PET scan has to be done. Every 3 months, the keratin test and all those tests, whatever the doctor says. Whatever the doctor
Okay.
said, we did for those. Yeah, yeah.
Got it. Yeah, right. So, Anamika, after knowing a lot of things that you did, that you got to know throughout your journey, you talked to people, you talked to doctors, some support groups, and the things that you did. If you have to summarize this in, say, top three things that you think that worked best for you, so what will be those three things?
Top three things. Um,
Top five as well.
One is definitely the focus on mental and emotional well-being, which I never ever gave any attention at all. The second thing I would say is, so I do, I'm on a spiritual path as well. I do spiritual studies, reading of the scriptures, learning the Gita and all that. Uh, a surrender. I've developed an attitude of surrender, right? Of letting go things that I cannot control, and of focusing on things that I know I can control. Okay, so that realization and that practice, yeah, you need to practice. We feel that, oh अरे ऐसे कैसे होगा, वो practice करना है ना, just like we did our practicals and everything. Every day we have to practice for years and years together to be able to surrender, right, to the this. And the third thing is, I've developed a very uh, special relationship with death. Yeah, so I help people uh, uh, accept it. I help people understand this whole this. We all know death is inevitable, but when it comes, we are all devastated. We are all in a bad shape. We are all crying, and I try and help people celebrate death in some ways, right? Because it is it's just a letting go of one body and getting into the other body. I mean, I'm talking with that philosophy, and that is the philosophy that made sense to me, Dimple. I embraced it because that philosophy made sense to me. The whole rebirth concept. It explains a lot of things for me that I see around me. So I think that healthy and loving relationship with death is something that I developed.
Wow. That's really, I mean, amazed because not many people are able to do or think about doing it.
Yes,
But that is, I personally believe that death is an amazing concept, and I realized
absolutely.
it when Nitesh was at end of life, and we were
Yes,
still learning about death, or
yes.
we were fearful. But then there was a beautiful book, Death and Dying, that actually gave us by
Yeah,
Popular Ross, yeah,
wonderful book,
yeah,
wonderful book.
right. So that actually gave us gave a good perspective around about death and dying. That what are we scared of? Are we afraid of death or the dying process? And
Correct,
yeah, and
correct.
and then some other good books that we read around this, and that's how.
I think you have shared your list of those books with me.
Yeah, right,
Yes.
right, right. So yeah, wonderful. Is there anything that you would want to share with other people to avoid? It can be about food, it can be about certain relations or thought process or certain activities that you think people shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, so I think the thing is that you have to be happy with whatever it is that you are doing, right? Anything that causes a conflict within yourself, and you see when you do something which does not align with yourself in whatever way, that ease is not there. You feel little uncomfortable, like when you tell a lie, for example. There is a little discomfort when you do that, right? How much of a bravado you do that. When you overeat, right, there is a discomfort that you feel. Or when you undereat, your body says, hello, you have not given me enough food. Or if you don't exercise, you feel lethargic, you feel sluggish, right? So anything that doesn't make you feel at ease is something that you should look at changing, right? And have that sense of uh, ease. And it's not that I found my permanent ease. As I told you, it's a long journey. It's a journey that I uh, go through every day, uh, because only with that practice, only with that realization, only with certain uh, you know practices will I be able to conquer that. So it's a journey that will go on, but to be at ease, that feeling now I've been able to capture. I've been able to capture how I want to feel all the time. And when I don't feel that, I make a note of that in my little journal, that this is what is causing a problem. Then after 2 days, I write the same thing. So I know that this is something that is a recurring pattern in my life. I need to work on it, right? So I think writing a journal helps, because first of all, you unburden yourself. किसी में लिख लिया, you don't have to tell anybody, and it reminds you that, boss, for the last 3-4 days you have been doing the same thing, so better uh, you know girdle your loins and take some action. Yeah.
Uh, True, very true. Great. And what are the learnings that you would want to share with other caregivers? And what will be your experience, or any
Yeah.
insights, anything, any thought, any
Caregivers
blueprint
are
that
very
you want to? Yeah.
difficult people to talk to, especially caregivers of children. So in all my work, Dimple, I don't work with parents of children, because what do you tell a parent, right, when their child is going through cancer? So, but to all other caregivers, I think besides sense of surrender, very important thing is to take care of yourself. Do not forget yourself in that journey. Yeah, because you can't pour from an empty cup. Even the airline say that put your oxygen mask first, and then only put the oxygen mask of the others. So please do not um, what you say neglect yourself in that journey. I know it's a difficult journey, and sometimes it's very overwhelming and you don't know what to do. There's so much doubt, there's so much grief. But please find the time to replenish yourself in some ways. Just take some time off, go out of that situation for an hour. Nothing great is going to happen. But yeah, go for a walk in the park or whatever it is, or see your favorite TV program once in a while. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. Please take care of yourself. Yeah, I think that's the main thing for caregivers.
Yeah, because it's true that caregivers they want to be heroes and they want to do everything on their own, but in the process they end up getting burnout, frustration, irritation, and end up not
Yes,
they'll not be that effective as they can be if they are taking support from others. So it's
absolutely,
really it's okay to ask for help, and there are many people who
absolutely.
are always there to support you during these difficult times.
Yes.
So it's okay to take it. Yeah, great. So if you sum up your entire journey in one sentence, what would that be?
In one sentence, it would be to find the strength and the joy within. That is what my journey has been. So I don't know how many of you know, I have a Facebook page, I have an Instagram page, I have a sort of philosophy called Joy Hamesha, through which I do all my work. So it's to discover the joy within.
Perfect. Great. Would love to hear from others about their experience about today's circle and.
If anybody has any questions, yes, absolutely.
Great. Thank you. Neil, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, definitely. Hi, Anamika. It was very, very inspiring to listen to your story, and I liked the way you said that you don't go back for follow-ups, and you're confident that it's not going to come back.
नहीं,
So yeah,
पर 5 साल तक किया था. Okay, now it is out after the 5 years, so therefore I'm taking it easy. Yeah. But go ahead.
no, I understand. I relate because I'm 8 years past now.
Oh,
मैंने भी
lovely.
5 साल मैंने भी डॉक्टर को बोला अभी तुमने बहुत कमा लिया अभी अभी बस करो बट आई एम वेरी प्रिकॉशियस काइंड ऑफ इफ आई feel that something is different in my body or different feeling
Yes.
तो मैं फोन करके मैं बोलता हूँ
Of course, you must do that. You must do that. You must. And as you rightly said, Mehul, the body does. As I gave the simple example of overeating and undereating, the body tells you when you have overeaten, for example. So similarly, what you are saying is right. In other ways, the body will give you some signals. I am not fine. Please listen to it. Please listen to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like even in my family, if someone's not well, I'll wait for a week. If they heal on their own, if they're not, I don't. I call up the doctor. Then that was my mistake.
Absolutely.
When I was not feeling well and I had a tumor on my throat, and I kept going to the local doctor, and that is what I tell everyone. You should not wait for more than a week. Just
yes. Agree.
But
that is good advice.
Yeah, I'm glad you're out of it and you're doing a good job.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Talking and meeting.
Yes.
And thanks, Dimple, for getting us in contact with everybody.
Thank you so much, Mehul.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Mehul's journey is amazing. He's a stage 4 throat cancer survivor. So very inspiring people, and blessed to be in all of you.
Yeah. I always make sure I attend this. Even it's morning time. I'm in the US. It's morning time.
Okay.
So
okay.
So I have some
talks to do. Every time.
So I was not on video, but I was listening, and it's always inspiring. It's a freshening kind of
Super.
You like to see your face, and I keep on. No, I always ask you to keep your video on.
अभी मेरा चेहरा सुबह Saturday morning कैसा होता है चेहरा वैसे मेरा चेहरा है
नहीं your चेहरा is looking very nice nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's Dr. Pratibha who has put her hand up.
Okay, I will shortly listen to her.
Yes, Doctor.
Sangeeta. Okay, hi Sangeeta.
Hi Didi. How are you?
कैसे हो? मैं ठीक हूँ. चलो बोलो. What is your question?
My question is, आप जो रेकी क्लासेस लेते हैं वो कैंसर पेशेंट्स के लिए है क्या और कब लेते हैं?
नहीं मैं रेकी क्लासेस नहीं लेती हूँ. मैंने रेकी सीखा है और मैं अपने लिए ही करती हूँ. मैं स्पेसिफिकली दूसरों के लिए नहीं करती हूँ, पर मैं जो कोचिंग करती हूँ ना, कैंसर कोचिंग, कभी कभी उसमें मैं रेकी हीलिंग का व्हाट यू से सेशन भी रखती हूँ, पर otherwise I don't do it on a regular basis, Sangeeta. I don't do that on a I do it for myself. For myself, I do Reiki every day.
अच्छा. और एक बात पूछूं? मेरे डॉक्टर ने मुझे बताया कि अभी रेडिएशन पे लेना पड़ा ना मुझे, तो डॉक्टर ने बताया कि जो अभी मैं ट्रीटमेंट ले रही हूँ, जो मेडिसिन कैल्सिला का, तो वो तो लेना ही पड़ेगा. वो ना नहीं बोलेंगे. In every 3 weeks I have to take that treatment. तो ये लाइफ टाइम रहेगा
संगीता, मैं डॉक्टर नहीं हूँ, तो इसके बारे में मैं कुछ नहीं कह पाऊंगी। ये डॉक्टर्स ही जानते हैं। अगर आपको कोई क्वेश्चंस है, मैं सबको बोलती हूँ कि डॉक्टर को पूछिए क्यों आप बोल रहे हैं, कितने टाइम तक होगा, वगैरह वगैरह। वो डॉक्टर ही बोल पाएंगे। मैं इसके बारे में कुछ नहीं बोल पाऊंगी। हाँ, पर आप प्लीज डॉक्टर से बात कीजिए, उनसे पूछिए, ताकि आपको तसल्ली हो कि यू नो ऑल द आंसर्स, एंड देन यू गो अहेड विद दैट नॉलेज कि हाँ, मुझे मालूम है मैं क्यों कर रही हूँ, क्यों नहीं कर रही हूँ, जो भी हो रहा है। हाँ? तो आप अपने डॉक्टर से बात कीजिए, एंड एज आई सेड, डॉक्टर अगर फ्री ना हो तो डॉक्टर के असिस्टेंट से बात कीजिए, वो लोग भी बता देंगे आपको। ठीक है?
ओके दीदी, थैंक यू,
टेक केयर,
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Good evening, everyone. Dimple,
Hello.
Yeah, hi, Dimple ji. First time I am actually new entrant in this group, and GBM के जो group है उसमें अरुण जी से काफी सुना है आपके बारे में. So thank you, Anamika ji, first of all. And actually I am talking in context of my son's issue. मेरा बेटा है 18 years का, and he had been diagnosed with diffuse midline glioma in July 2020. So he has undergone radiation. He had undergone surgery, then radiation, and then chemotherapy is still continuing. Now the thing is कि उसका जो है physically he seems to be, you can say, kind of better. Results are better on MRI. जो क्योर की और क्योर वर्सेस हीलिंग की अगर हम बात करें तो he is on the path of cure, but healing is what he required. तो वो emotionally काफी disturbed है, और being a teenager, he will turn 19 this July, so he is 18 plus. और पिछले 1.5 साल से he is totally, because he is struggling with this disease, he was totally out of touch with his schoolmates and then other friends, and धीरे धीरे क्या हुआ कि 12th के बाद अब सभी का कहीं कहीं एडमिशन हुआ, so he is totally out of touch. Now the help that I am seeking and the advice I am seeking is कि ये जो हमारा जो एक community का group है, कैसे इस चीज को अप्रोच करें. एज ए पेरेंट वी टॉक टू हिम, बट एज ए टीनेजर ही हैज टू रिटर्न टू हिज एज ग्रुप पीपल. आई थिंक देन ही विल फील नॉर्मल तो टाइम लगेगा खैर होने में, बट हाउ टू लाइक मेक न्यू फ्रेंड्स. द बिगर चैलेंजेस कि उसका शॉर्ट टर्म मेमोरी इशू है, तो ही कैन नॉट रिटेन एनीथिंग व्हिच ही हैज डन ड्यूरिंग द डे. So he cannot return back immediately to his studies also. To मतलब a person of his age should be studying in college now. तो वो कुछ उस टाइप से भी नहीं कि किसी सर्कल में ऐसे एंटर कर सकता है. तो if any one of you can guide us. अगर
Dimple, you want to take that question with what ZenOnco does and everything?
Yeah, so hi डॉक्टर प्रतिभा. So हम लोग पेशेंट्स को इंटीग्रेटिव ऑन्कोलॉजी पे गाइड करते हैं, और इंटीग्रेटिव ऑन्कोलॉजी कि हम लोग मेडिकल के साथ में कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री थेरेपीज को कंबाइन करते हैं टू गेट द बेस्ट क्लिनिकल आउटकम, टू मैनेज द साइड इफेक्ट्स एंड टू हील बॉडी फ्रॉम विद इन. तो जैसा कि आपने बहुत ही अच्छे से बताया कि क्योर तो मिल रहा है बट हीलिंग नहीं हो रही है, और हीलिंग को कैसे हम इम्प्रूव करें, हीलिंग पे कैसे ध्यान दें, एंड हाउ टू come back to the lifestyle that he was in earlier, right? कैंसर से पहले. So that's a gradual process कि हम लोग कैसे वो सब चीज़ें कर सकते हैं. उसमें मैं आपको द एंटायर इंटीग्रेटिव प्रोग्राम, जिसमें कि आप इमोशनल, मेंटल वेलनेस, विल पावर, कम्युनिटी सपोर्ट, डाइट का, न्यूट्रोस्यूटिकल्स का, एंड इमोशनल वेलनेस, सो एवरीथिंग दैट ही रिक्वायर्स राइट नाउ, सो दैट ही कैन ग्रेजुअली कम बैक टू द नॉर्मल लाइफस्टाइल दैट ही हैड बिफोर. सो मैं आपको गाइड कर सकती हूँ. आई थिंक मैं आपका आई विल कनेक्ट यू सेपरेटली वन ऑन वन पे, एंड देन कैन गाइड यू कम्प्लीटली कि आपको क्या क्या चीज़ें उसमें करनी चाहिए. बट डेफिनेटली इट इज़ पॉसिबल, बट फॉर दैट व्हाट ऑल थिंग्स वी नीड टू डू, वी नीड टू मेक अ प्रोग्राम जो कि राइट नाउ, जैसे आपने बताया कि उनकी एज 18-19 है, तो उनके लिए अभी क्या क्या चीज़ें सही है हमें करनी चाहिए, दैट वी विल प्लान टुगेदर.
Academician, so that's why doctor is written. I don't know कैसे वो आया. I never intended to write doctor. Okay. Second thing is कि उसका ना अभी जैसे कि ये जो है supplements and all, because it has been already 1.5 year, and being in that bigger group, तो वो सब is almost taken care of. We don't know really what else. We would be happy if we can add more. But biggest challenge now is because of cognition issue, how to bring him in the mainstream. Emotional support is what he requires, and professional emotional support, professionally like psychiatrists and psychologists, we have been consulting since last 1 year. But I think what will be more beneficial for him will be what comes naturally, like in the daily routine, what comes from his age group people with more interaction. और मेमोरी का इशू होने की वजह से उसको अगर हम वैसे बोलेंगे ना, ट्यूटर करके समझाएंगे कि ऐसे नहीं सोचो, ऐसे सोचो, so that all we have tried, that is not working. What I was thinking was, if there is some group of like just like Anamika ji is there as a survivor and sending us positive thoughts, so if there is some group which of similar age group people with similar kind of disease, so maybe like interacting with them and making new friends in that range will help him. So I will be glad if you can help.
Definitely, definitely, Pratibha ji. I'll help you with that. And Mehul also wants to add something on this, I think. Yeah, Mehul?
Yeah, definitely. Hi, Pratima. I am sorry for what you're going through, but I would. You just told that you have met professionals and psychiatrists and all, but definitely I have seen cases like these getting better with psychiatric consultation. So not just psychiatric, but if I would say if you see a doctor who um, specializes in teenagers, especially, that would help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they have, it's you need a specialized doctor, and they need to plan out a specific program for your child, and it has to be very tailor-made. You will have to be very patient. It might take a lot of time, and get him involved in, as you said, and Dimple said, that get him involved in groups and activities that he would like. But do see do consult a proper psychologist or a psychiatrist, not a psychiatrist, but a psychologist. I know Dr. I know one doctor, Dr. Bhushan, who's in Pune. One of my friends, he has been. I know him personally. If you would like, I can connect you to him. He specializes in teenagers. Or maybe he can help in some way. But I think apart from the regular medicine and all, he needs proper consultation from a good doctor who can talk to him, and I've seen changes happening in my friends' children and all. So I'm pretty sure it can help in some way.
Cool. Yeah, it's really helpful. Yeah, so I'll connect you two over WhatsApp, and then we can take it forward. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, and all the best. Thank you.
Deepak ji, would you like to share anything? Sorry, we are running over time.
Hello, Anamika ji.
Yeah. Hi.
You tell that you are not doing the regular test. Must do that. Why? We have done some mistake. In 2020, we have not done the PET scan. After 5 years, 5 years was completed. So we have neglected. In 2021 January, we come to know that it's relapsed. My wife case. So do the test properly every year. Don't miss. And I'm suffering. What I'm suffering, that I know only.
Thank you so much, Deepak ji, and it's all gonna be fine. Yeah, आप इतने लोगों का ग्रुप में भी हेल्प कर रहे हो, इतने लोगों को गाइड कर रहे हो, so thank you. Raji, would you like to share anything?
I have one very important 1 or 2 points to ask to Anamika ji. वो तो पहले तो मुझे वो बताना है कि Anamika ji, you have very developed positively and nicely conditioned your mind and body for forward living, and it's a very beautiful thing, and I think very necessary for everybody, but especially for cancer survival. I think this is a very good technique to condition our mind that what I want to do in future. Now, one question, very important question, is that you say that you are a Reiki healer. So I am always confused whether this distant healing helps, or what is the science behind it. So I just wanted to know, because does it really help, or is it only a placebo effect, scientifically? Because I don't know, when other person doing treatment for us and you get benefit, it's somehow not going in my mind properly. So can you explain?
Yeah. So ये सब विश्वास के बात होती है, राजेंद्र जी. These are not it's not easily explainable, but there is a science behind it, as Dimple also said. And I don't know whether you heard my experience where my pain went off 80%. And most healers have these stories, okay? They all have these stories with themselves where they will talk about some very miraculous events, okay? I don't, as I said, I don't do it for others. I do it for myself because I just believe in a holistic approach. So I do it for myself कि मुझे अभी कुछ नहीं है पर मेरी जनरल वेलबींग के लिए मैं करती रहती हूँ, you know. And it was a very beautiful experience when you do the healing, yeah, when you are inducted as a healer, and there's this whole ritual that they do where that power is passed on to you from the teacher to you. It's a very beautiful thing. So Rajendra ji, this is all a question of faith. It is not placebo at all. No, I wouldn't say at all. At all is not the right word to use. I'm sure some people it happens, but there is a science behind it. This may not be the forum for it, but there is a science behind it. Yeah, they talked about
the difference between faith and placebo is more or less. When you say I have a faith, or it has got a placebo effect, it is more or less same. That's one thing. And another important question which you have referring about medical marvelous. So today's medical has definitely done wonders. So see, we can afford all cancer patients, we can afford and we can do medical treatment. But there are people who take medical treatment and say, no, the medical is a separate thing. We have got better because of the God's wish only, because of the faith in God or God's wish only. Now, since we can afford, we can take medical. Only poor people who cannot afford, they have to live only on God's wish to get recovered. This is also a confusing question to many times.
Rajendra ji, we have to talk separately about God and faith.
Okay.
अपने आप में एक घंटे से ज़्यादा लगेगा वो बात करने में.
This is what I said. This is my always confusion. So I
Dimple, please send me Rajendra Shah's number and I will connect with him to have a discussion about God and faith. Sure. Yeah, that will be.
I have been reading a lot. Recently, I am reading Richard Dawkins and so on about God is an illusion, and it's a beautiful book. But then that we will discuss separately on this. God is not great. There is another book which I am reading now. But they have also beautifully explained.
One of my teachers gives a very nice explanation of God. It's a grand overall design.
Yes.
So it need not be a Krishna or a, Jesus or whatever. It is some grand overall design which we don't understand. So I will take your number and I would love to have this discussion with you.
That's very important. This is a very good discussion because that is a natural selection versus grand design. So which is logical or rational or scientific? That's always I have a question. So since you have referred this issue in your talk, so we can at least have a discussion on this idea because this is an area of my interest, great interest.
Great, thank you. We'll connect both of you as well. Lastly, we'll hear from Vrinda.
Hi everybody, and thank you for making me a part of it, and thank you Anamika for giving such a motivational talk. Basically, this is my first ever gathering of attending it because I am still fighting the cancer disease still. I've just finished one cycle of my chemotherapy and I'm still going through it, but meeting all of you all and listening to your stories of your survival really motivates me. And if I can be a part of such workshops so I can still gather some motivation, it would be really, really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Vrinda, and glad that session was helpful for you. And we do it every Saturday, 5 to 6 p.m. on the same link. So you're most welcome to join. And we also do some meditation, healing sessions. Like today, we had it at 4 o'clock. So that's more of an activity based. So yes, I mean, I am so sorry that you didn't know about it. So I will also send you everybody. I will just share a group link here so you can join the group because we share all the information about all the sessions on the group so that you don't miss on any sessions. So just a second. Yeah, here. Just share. Yeah. So here is the groups, all the sessions, what we plan, we send the information here, and we also send a reminder right before the session in case, yeah. So yeah, and all the healing energy, power and love to you in your healing journey. Thank you. And lastly, thanks a lot, Anamika, for hosting, for having, for being here with us on this platform. It was really, really very insightful and a lot to learn from your journey, from everyone's journey, and lot more new connections to make. Most importantly, so. This was a long pending session for us, and glad that you could make it this time. And it was really because everybody comes from a different walks of life, and everybody has different experiences and processes, of going through this entire treatment journey. So, and it's always wonderful to hear about so many experiences. The outcome may be same or may be different, but the journey is what matters. And the way your journey, your life has transformed after this diagnosis, after treatment, and what you are today, how you are today. It's just amazing. So wish you, all the best and all the love and power and support to you in your healing journey. And so glad to see the support that you have been providing to other cancer patients. And joy Hamisha. Yeah. Anything that you want to share? Last few words, Anamika?
No, it was an honor, privilege. I'm grateful for the opportunity, Dimple. And yes, thank you for having me here. Thank you for having me.